Hello, everybody. This is Tenacious Earl with the game 4 of this 4-game set against the New York Mets. This is the 2008 Phillies replay. Sorry, I just heard my son just make a bunch of noise upstairs. Quiet all this time, and then all of a sudden just start stomping around. But thought about playing this offline, and I guess I just figured I would kind of go out here with a bang for... I think I'm going to take a short hiatus in this, a few days, maybe a little longer, because I'd really like to get some of the golf stuff done. So it's not going to make some people happy, but it'll make me happy, which is most important. Maybe, maybe not. So this is going to be game 4 of this series. The Phillies have won 2 of the first 3. Mets trying to split. And I don't know. I like the Mets' chances in this, but we'll see. They've got Pedro Martinez going, which this is not Pedro in his prime. This is Pedro towards the end of his career, and not such a great card for him here. But we'll see if the Phillies can take advantage of that, or if the Mets will prevail. I have comments. Why is that not showing? Oh, okay. Well, there's a comment. Hi, Ken. So, Phillies have Adam Eaton. So this is not a favorable matchup as far as I'm concerned. But, that's in terms of overall the fact that the Phillies, judging between Adam Eaton's career and Pedro Martinez's career, I would give the edge to Martinez, but you just never know because, as I said, Martinez on this card, 5-6 with a 5.61 ERA in 20 starts, so not exactly stellar. I'll be back here with the starting lineups in a second. This is the Phillies replay. We'll be back shortly with the game. Okay, so we're back here at Citizens Bank Park, the evening of July 7th, 2008, and we're pretty much ready to go here. Phillies facing the Mets, and let's get going. Time, as they say, is a wasting. And so your Mets, I'm sure there are a couple Mets fans on here. I don't know why this is not showing up. Oh, there we go. Okay. Hi, Mark Russell. Hi. It's Ken and Tribe fan. I think I already said hello to them, but if not, hello. Might be a couple of Mets fans hanging around here. So those of you who are rooting for the Mets, your Mets lineup is Jose Reyes at short, Endy Chavez in right, David Wright third base, Carlos Beltran in center, Damian Easley second base, Carlos Delgado at first, Fernando Tatis, the only change from yesterday's lineup. He's in left, Brian Schneider catching, and Pedro Martinez pitching. For the Phillies, we'll just go through their lineup real quick. Rollins short, Victorino center, Utley, second base. Howard, first. Burrell, left. Greg Dobbs gets the start at third. Jason Worthen, right. Chris Coase catching, and on the mound will be Adam Eaton. He'll start this game. And where? That's the wrong chart. This is the right chart. So, night game here at Philly. We get a 1, so that'll be optimum conditions. 11s and 8s and 17s. And we are ready for action here at Citizens Bank Park. The final game of this series between the Mets and the Phillies. And it'll be Jose Reyes against Adam Eaton to lead off. And the pitch. And against a right-hander, he'll hit it on the ground to short. Jimmy Rollins up with it. Throws to first. And in time to beat the speedy Reyes. 1 away. Endy Chavez, lefty. And he's going to hit a tall pop-up into foul territory. Underneath it will be Dobbs. And Dobbs will be able to grab that one for out number 2. And it's David Wright. And that's a grounder to the opposite field, but Utley will be able to cut that off, and he will make the throw to first. And 1, 2, 3 for Eaton. Ken Castro, Eaton's 4 and 8 with a 580. So basically almost equivalent, probably not equivalent when it comes to strikeouts. 57 strikeouts in 107 innings, whereas let's take a quick peek here. 109 innings for Martinez, 87 strikeouts. So, as you can see, a rather marked difference between the two pitchers. But I think Pedro is probably a lot closer to a strikeout an inning in his prime. And in this one, a little below it. So, alright. So, Jimmy Rollins will be the first to take a swing here against Martinez. Batting from the left side of 4-8. Well, he's going to draw a walk. So, patience pays off. Pedro, not very good at holding runners. They're going to go ahead and see if Rollins can get a lead here and take advantage of that 1-19 that he would be afforded. And a 4 means he does. So he'll get a 1-19 lead because Pedro's +8. So the most you can be is +5, and then you subtract 2. So that's, you add 3 to 19. Only a 20 throws him out. And it's a 12. So Rollins will take second. Gets a quick jump on the slow to the plate Martinez. And a 4-7 against the lefty. That's a 1-13 single, would make first and third with nobody out. 1-13. But it's an 18. That'll be a liner to first. Not such a great break there. Here is Utley. Against the lefty, 5-2. 1-12, a single 1-star. Will the D20 bite them this time? No, it will not, so that'll be first and third with 1 out. That brings up Ryan Howard. And against the lefty, a 4-5, that's a strikeout. So that's out number 2. And that's a big out for Pedro. The infield was playing back looking for 2. So here's Pat the bat. 2 outs. 1-6. That will be a walk to load the bases. So Pedro in some trouble. Can Greg Dobbs turn one around here on Martinez? And here's the pitch. It's a 6-4 against the lefty. That's a grounder to short. Jose Reyes, the only thing that would really hurt them here would be a low roll on, well, they could also, I guess there's also a chance for an error. 2E18 is his rating. And it's a 3. I think that means, because they're not holding anybody on, I think, yes, he will barely get to it. What about his E? They need a high number here. and they don't get it, that will be the final out, as Reyes throws to first in time to beat Dobbs, and a hit, 2 walks, but nothing to show for it. The Phillies are scoreless in the first. Well, Mark, I see your comments there. Yeah, I would say projects can be good when you just take them easy and try not to get too bogged down in the statistical analysis and stuff, which is something that is, that's a problem. 1-11 here for Carlos Beltran, a home run. And it is way back, and it's going to be a double. That's a 12, so Eaton catches a break there. Damian Easley at the plate. And against a righty, a 4-5, that'll be a strikeout for Eaton. Rare strikeout for him. And Delgado. Against the lefty, a 5-6, that's another strikeout for Eaton. So with 2 outs and a runner at second, it's going to be Fernando Tatis. Would almost like to be able to pitch around him here, but they're going to throw to him. 1-5, and that's a strikeout. Strikes out the side. I said a rare strikeout. Look at that for Eaton. Comes back with a bang here. Gives up a leadoff double, and then takes care of everybody with the heater. So still no score. Mark, what's your handle on the Delphi forum, just for my personal sake? If you don't mind posting that, I'd be interested in knowing who you post as, if it's just your name or if you've got a handle. So Jason Worth against Martinez. Now bottom of the second, the Phillies escape a problem there, but that's going to be a strikeout for Worth. That'll be out number 1. Chris Coast. And that's going to be a grounder to Easley, and Easley will be able to convert that with no effort. Let me see. Yes, just double checking. And the pitcher Eaton, he is hitting card number 3, so a little bit more of a chance. 6-6, that'll be a strikeout. So 1-2-3 inning for the fireballer Pedro Martinez. Not sure at this point in his career if he's throwing as many fireballs as he did back in the day, but all right, I'm going to get something to drink here. Bear with me for a second. Okay. Brian Schneider. Then the pitcher spot, Martinez, and then Reyes, top of the order. Okay. I'll have to remember that if I see your post come across there. And it's a 5-8 against the lefty. That's a grounder to Utley, and Utley will pull up and throw out the slow Schneider. Here is Pedro, pitcher's hitting card number 2 for him, 6-5 against a righty. And Pedro is, I believe, a weak hitter, and he is, but a 6-5 is a 1-11 normal power home run, so it's going to be a single on a 1-11, double on a 12-20. That'll be a double for Martinez, so he's going to get a hit off of Eaton. Second double given up by the Phillies right-hander, Jose Reyes, with 1 out. And against a lefty 6-9, he'll draw a walk. So second base blocked by Pedro there. He's not going to be able to take a bag. Here comes Endy Chavez. And a 3-10, that's going to be trouble. That's going to be a 1-7 triple chance. And it's an 8, so that will be a single, but 2 stars means that Martinez will come home and open the scoring in this game. So 1-0 Mets on top. Here is David Wright. First and third, the Phillies will play back, looking for the double play ball. Hoping for the double play ball, we'll say. That's a 1-6, and that's going to load the bases. Roll's not really going the Phillies' way here again this game, but that happens sometimes. Beltran, bases loaded. They're going to play back, looking for 2. 5-8 against a lefty. That's going to be a good roll for the Phillies. That's going to be a grounder to Utley. He underhands it to Rollins, over to first in time for the double play. And that will close out the top of the third. The Mets do get 1 run on 2 hits, and they leave 2 on with a runner stranded at third. The Phillies will come to bat down by a run. J-Roll, he walked, stole second, and got left to the death at third. So in the first inning there, so see if he can get something going here, and that's going to be another walk. Martinez seems a little afraid to face him, and putting him on is not a great move either. Well, there's potential passed ball, but Schneider has a 0 passed ball rating, so that essentially means Rollins cannot get a good lead. So that makes him a 14. You subtract, it's going to be a 1-15. They're going to hit and run with Victorino here. So see how that works out. He'll be a B since they're holding Rollins on. 6-9 against a lefty. That's another walk. So instead of a walk, because he's a B, that's a grounder to second. The runner will advance, and that'll be out number 1. Chase Utley. Also a 6-9. That's another walk. So it's going to bring up Ryan Howard with first and second and 1 away. See if the big guy can get a hold of one here. And against the lefty, 4-5, that is another strikeout. I think that's the same roll he got in his last at-bat. 2 outs. How about something from Pat Burrell here? They need something off of his 2 column. 2 outs, 2 on. And it's a 2-10. That is a ballpark shot, 1-17. This is a long drive, way back, and it stays in the park. It is going to be caught at the track by Fernando Tatis, and no runs on 2 walks, 2 left on base. And the 20 is being cruel tonight to the Phillies so far. So here we go with Easley against Eaton. Eaton worked out of the third in a jam. 3-12 is the roll here. That'll be a grounder to Rollins, and Rollins will have no trouble with that one. Carlos Delgado. And that's going to be a ballpark single chance here for the lefty. 1-11. But that's a 15. Got some high rolls going here tonight. That'll be a liner to Utley for the out. Number 2, and Tatis, who robbed the home run. Wasn't going out anyway. He needs a 1 for a single here. Anything else will be a grounder to Utley, and it's a 13. So that will be a 1-2-3 inning for Eaton. 1-0 Mets. Going to the bottom of the 4th. Yes, that's right, Ken. Just about did it, but yeah, it's okay. Everybody likes their tasty cakes there, Ken. Greg Dobbs. And a 5-6 against a lefty. That's going to go in the gap to the wall. Dobbs will come around first. He'll drop anchor at second base, and that's a leadoff double for the Phillies. Jason Worth going to come up trying to tie this ball game with a base hit. Maybe take one out of here and do a little more damage. That's a 2-6. And a 2-6, that's going to be a single to left. With Dobbs running, let's see, Tatis a +1 arm. Or the Philly's going to try. He's a 12. He wouldn't be held on at second. That makes him a 13. +1, a 1 to 14 chance. They're going to send him. The Mets are going to hold. They're going to throw into second, keep Worth at first, and that'll tie the ball game. So I'm pretty safe in saying I don't think they're going to throw home on that one. So Worth at first. Of course, if he gets a good lead here, it's all but academic. He gets a 2, so he won't. He's probably going to have to hold. 8 + 5 is 13. That's a 65% chance. It's kind of low percentage, but I don't know. Maybe we'll try a little later. 4-7 against a righty. That'll be a 1 to 4 single. That would move Worth to second if they can get it. But it's a 16. That'll be a liner to short for out number 1. Pitcher spot up. Worth, he's going to try and steal. It's going to be a 1 to 13 chance. He didn't get a good lead, so he's going to try. And he does, and that has a chance at a throwing error with a 1 to 3. So you need 1 to 3 means you activate the throwing error check from Schneider, which is a 1 to 8. We re-roll, but it's a 14, so no throwing error. But Worth gets to second, and that brings up Eaton. Pitcher's hitting card number 3 with 1 out and a runner at second. And it's a 4-5 against a righty. That's a strikeout, so 2 outs. And that'll bring up J-Roll, who has walked twice. Sure could use his first at bat, be a hit here, and get that go-ahead run home. That's a 3-5, and he's going to hit a grounder right down the line, but is going to be able to be dove for and caught by Delgado. He's going to get up and just barely beat Rollins to the bag. It was a foot race. He saw Martinez was a little slow getting off the mound, but the Phillies do pick up a run. And tie the ball game going to the top of the 5th. So here is Schneider. He grounded out to second in the 3rd inning with his first leadoff at bat. And that will be a grounder through the hole, and Schneider will reach on a single. That brings up Pedro, who is an A bunter, very adept with the squared baseball bat, and he is going to try and lay one down here and get Schneider up to second base, and that's an 8, and they're expecting it, so that makes him a B, but he is going to still successfully lay that down, and that means Schneider's at second with 1 out, and Reyes going to come up here looking to drive him home, and that's a 2-7. That's a grounder to second. Schneider is going to, with a good secondary lead, will go and take third base, even though he's not the quickest of runners since that ball was hit to his left. So Andy Chavez now at the plate with 2 outs, and Schneider at third. Can he drive him home? And that's a 1-10. That's a grounder right back to the pitcher, and that's going to be thrown over easily to Howard. Nothing doing for the Mets there on 1 hit, and they leave that runner stranded at third. So, bottom of the 5th, it'll be Victorino, Utley, and Howard to face Martinez. Martinez is a 6th inning weakness guy. Eaton just hit his inning of weakness, but only 1 hit or walk isn't going to adversely affect him. 6-7. Here is a hit for Victorino. Will it be a single or a double? Need a double. Need a 1 for a double here, and it's an 11, so that's going to be a 1-bagger for Victorino. Please stop banging that. Stop playing. Victorino will try and steal. Well, chance at a pickoff for Victorino. 1 to 14, he's safe. 15 to 20, he's out. it's a 2, so he gets back in. But no chance at a lead here, so he could still go on the 1-2. Well, let's see. That's a 1. Actually, I think I was incorrect earlier. You add subtract 4, subtract 1, and add 5. So it's a 1-14 chance for Victorino there. Utley, they're going to hit and run here again. He's going to be an A hit and run guy. Victorino, will he have to steal? So that's a 4-10 against a lefty. That's a grounder to third. It's going to be a tough play to be made by David Wright, a 2E16. That's a 14, which puts it at a G1, which would be a double play ball as long as he doesn't make an error. E16 and a 14. Now that's a horse of a different color maybe. Let's see. 16 and a 14. That is going to be an E1. 16 and a 14. So let's see, that's going to be a G1 but an E1. So runners advance a base. So that's going to be E5. Victorino to second. And first and second, nobody out. Brings up Ryan Howard, looking to break this tie, see if he can get one over here on Pedro. That's a 2-6, and a 2-6 is going to be a walk to load the bases. So what is your problem? Well, do something else. Watch something on Netflix. No. Okay, so bases loaded with Pat the Bat at the plate. The Mets will play back looking for... actually, they'll play with the corners in. They'll try to come home if it's hit on a hot shot to third or first. So here is Pat the Bat against Martinez. And a 4-8 against a righty. That's going to be a walk. That's going to bring home the go-ahead run as Burrell, who is a patient hitter, surprisingly for a power guy, he does work the walk, and that puts the Phillies ahead 2-1 here in the bottom of the fifth. And that's going to mean Martinez... Wait, no, he's a 6th-inning weakness guy. So Dobbs will be up again. They're going to play with the corners in here. Try to cut a run off at home if they can. If it's up the middle, they want to be able to get 2. So 6-4 against a lefty. That's a grounder to short. This would score a run as long as... Well, this is going to score a run either way. That's a 5, so 2 and a 5. Let's double check that. They're not holding, not in at the shortstop position. So that's a G3. Everybody else is going to advance. Correct? Yes. So let's just make sure he doesn't have an error. 18 and 6. I think that's fine. Yes. So that's going to mean that he gets the 6-4. Can't. No. That's not right. Let's look at the fielding chart. That will inform us of our result. Bases loaded. Infield back because it goes to the shortstop. Ground ball C. That's a 3. Batter out. Runners advance a base. Okay, so it means his only play was to first. So that runner advances. That's a 6. That's going to be a 6-3. And so with 1 out, 2 runs home, it's 3-1 Phillies. Here is Jason Worth. That's a 3-6. That's another walk, and I'll tell you what, the Mets... Okay, I've... I wonder why when you're banging the thing and it's going to break.
It's just that it's too hard. It's acting like it's...
Play something else.
No.
Sit back here. If there's any more junk, I'm going to turn it off. So, the Mets are going to get they probably should have had bullpen action going in any regard, but it'll be Duan or Sanchez. My son is just being bad. What did he do? He's just, my son's being like me. Unfortunately, here's Chris Coast with the bases loaded again. They'll play the corners in. They'd like to get out of this inning with 2 now. 2-5. But that's gonna be a grounder to second C. So again, another run's gonna be. It's just gonna be a slow dribbler. That the only play for Easley is to first. Everybody will advance, but they will get the second out and see their way out of this inning. And I think they'll let Pedro finish it off here against Eaton, see if he can get Eaton out. Second and third, 2 away. Here is Adam Eaton. 4-8, and another walk for Martinez. The walk, that's going to load the bases. That's going to be it for Pedro. The manager has seen enough. Tried to give the Hall of Fame pitcher every opportunity to get himself out of that inning and just can't complete it. So it's going to be Rollins against Duan or Sanchez with bases loaded and 2 outs. And against the lefty, a 5-5, that will be a strikeout to end the inning. But 3 runs across on only 1 hit, 1 error, 4 walks by Pedro. And what did Gronk do? Yeah, Gronk was just, I don't know. I don't know if he's hopped up on something or what. I mean, it looked like roid rage to me, but it's not like they were up by almost 3 scores, and it's not like he had like 9 catches for 120 yards already or something. I mean, such a petty thing to do. I mean, my dream would be that they would release him, but they'll never do that. But I mean, we hear all this stuff about the Patriot way, quote unquote. I mean, that's not supposedly that's not the Patriot way, but I mean, it is because it just is. They're allowed to do whatever they want. And well, David Wright, he is going to try and cut back into this 4-1 Phillies lead. This is a 1-11 home run. This one is way back, and it's out of here. Leadoff home run for third baseman David Wright, and he makes it a 4-2 lead for the Mets, or for the Phillies. 4-2 deficit for the Mets. Carlos Beltran, and that's going to be a grounder to Rollins for out number 1. Damian Easley, and that's a 1-9, and that's going to be a grounder right back to Eaton. And that'll be out number 2 as he throws to first. And Big Cat against a lefty, 6-3 ballpark home run, 1-17. This one's way back, and it's down to a 1-run lead as 2 solo home runs here in the inning for the Mets. Make it 4-3, fighting back. And here is Fernando Tatis. Against a righty 5-8, that'll be a fly ball to center. This one's pretty deep, but not deep enough as Victorino gets underneath it. 2 runs for the Mets in the top of the 6th here. They will stick with Sanchez here in the bottom of the 6th. Trying to hold the Phillies tight. Victorino will lead off the inning again. So, Victorino, batting from the left side, a 5-7. That's a strikeout. 2 strikeouts in a row for Sanchez. Chase Utley with 1 out. And that's going to be a grounder to Reyes. And Reyes makes the throw over for out number 2. And it's Ryan Howard. 111. And a 111 is going to be a grounder to second. Just misses a big shot there. But instead, it's a 1-2-3 inning for Sanchez. And head to the 7th with the Phillies ahead by a scant 1 run. Phillies will allow Eaton. Let's see. Will they? Nah. They will let Eaton. No, they're not. They're gonna go to the bullpen here. Gonna try to bridge it over with Chad Durbin. So Durbin will face Schneider here in the 7th. Against a lefty 5-6, and couldn't have been a worse choice. 5-6 is a 1-10 double, and that's a double for Schneider. Against the lefty there, 5-6 just a bad roll. So pitcher spot up. The Mets going to pinch hit for Sanchez. They'll also have Joe Smith warming up in the bullpen. And they're going to have Ryan Church take a crack at Durbin here. So, runner at second, nobody out. Ryan Church at the plate. Against the lefty, 4-4. That's catcher X. Coast a 4. 4 and a 3. This is going to be a wild pitch. It's going to advance the runner to third. And Church will still be at the plate. 5-4 against the lefty. Ballpark single, 1-11. And it's a 4. That's going to tie the ball game. So Church at first. Not much of a runner. It'll be Jose Reyes. 4-4 your score right here. And a potential passed ball. Coast doesn't give him up. So Reyes, that's a 2-10 grounder to first base B. He's going to beat out the relay throw. It'll be a 3-6 fielder's choice. So Durbin with the blown save. As the Phillies try to bridge it over to Madsen and Lidge, but can't get the job done. Endy Chavez, Reyes, let's see, with Durbin a -2. Coast a +2. Reyes is going to try to grab a lead off of second, but he doesn't get it. So 15, 11. So 1-11 with 1 out. Not going to try. So it's going to be Endy Chavez against the lefty 5-8. That's a strikeout. And now with 2 outs, Reyes is going to try to take a bag. What was that? 1-11, did we say? 15 -4, and then the hold and the arm cancel each other out. 1-11. And he does steal second. So go ahead, run at second for David Wright. He's already gone yard here. 1 for 2. And that's a 2-8. And that's going to be a 1-9 single. Won't score a run if it comes 1-9. And it's a 1, so first and third. And that's going to bring up Carlos Beltran with a chance to really take a lead here that would be pretty good if he can get a hold of one here. 2 outs. Infielders back, and Beltran at the plate. 6-10 against a lefty, grounded to third. This is Dobbs, and Dobbs is a 4 and a 20, so at least he will get to it now. The E13, can he make the play? And an 8. And he does make the play, and that will end the inning. So, 1 run on 3 hits, and they leave 2. Durbin blows the save. We're going to go to the bottom of the 7th. It's the stretch, and Sanchez is no longer in the game. It's going to be Joe Smith. Coming in to pitch for the Mets here against Burrell, Dobbs, and Worth. So, Burrell against Smith, 2-10. Ballpark home run. He got robbed on one of these before. Can he do it this time? This is a long drive. Way back. Out of here. Home run, Pat Burrell. That's his 24th, I want to say, on the season. I'm not going to look it up, but that gives the Phillies the lead back at 5-4. So Joe Smith comes right in and gives up the run that takes it apart there. So that's going to be a grounder to Reyes, and Reyes makes the play. 1 out. Jason Worth. It's 5-7 against a righty. It's a grounder to Easley. 3E14, a 3 and a 19. He gets to it. And a 7 on the E14 means that he makes the play. Phillies will get Ryan Madsen warming up here. 2 outs, Chris Coast. Against a righty, 4-4. Fly ball to center. Center fielder Beltran, a 1. E3, he gets underneath it and he makes the grab, and that will retire the side. But the Phillies retake the lead on Pat Burrell's solo home run. And the Phillies will call on Ryan Madsen to try to stretch this into Brad Lidge's territory. He'll be facing Easley, Delgado, and Tatis. Durbin will be the winner if Madsen and... Where did that go? There you are. So let's see if Madsen can... let's see, what do the Mets have available off the bench? Aguila, Argenis Reyes, Ramon Castro, catcher, and Marlon Anderson. Anderson might be an option here against some righty pitching. We'll see. He can play second as well. The Phillies are also going to... the Phillies are going to make a defensive substitution before the inning starts as well. They're going to bring in Pedro Feliz in place of Greg Dobbs at third. So, and they're also, no, you know what? We're not going to do that. Could potentially bring in Jenkins into right with Worth sliding over to left to try and cover up Burrell's poor fielding, but let's keep it at that. Easley against Madsen, top of the 8th. Phillies with a 5-4 lead. And that's a 3-7. That's going to be a single off Madsen, so right away in trouble. Here's the big cat, Carlos Delgado. Madsen got to get these guys at 6-12 against the lefty. That's a grounder to first. Howard here. Let's see, not having to hold easily on. He's still a 4E20 then. A 4 and a 3, that's trouble. That's going to be a single, and the runner will advance to third. Any errors? 13 on an E20. No errors, but that's going to be first and third and nobody out. And Phillies defense coming into suspicion here. They're going to have to play with the infield in. So infield in here, Fernando Tatis, top of the 8th, nobody out. And the pitch, 3-6, and all sorts of trouble here. That's going to be a 1-3 triple. And it is a triple. That's going to score 2, and the Mets take the lead 6-5. As Ryan Madsen, another blown save in this game for the Phillies. And just a comedy of errors here from the Phillies. They can't close the Mets down, and Brian Schneider now. Errors pitching-wise. He just leaves the ball over the plate, and that's going to be a ballpark single chance against the lefty, 1-11, and it's a 9. That's going to score a third run in the inning, and Madsen comes in and gives up 4 singles in a row. Nothing that he could really do about it except maybe throw better pitches. Pitcher spot coming up. So that's where Marlon Anderson will come in. And pinch hit here for Joe Smith. Obviously the let's see, the Mets will get Pedro Feliciano warming up here. So the Mets with a 7-5 lead right now. Just not a very good sequence here for. Grounded to the pitcher. That will mean that they force Schneider out. Actually, it's a 1-6 fielder's choice for Anderson. And Jose Reyes with Anderson at first. Probably not going to be trying to take a bag here. And a 6-8 against the lefty, and another single. Man. Tough to believe for a guy with a 3.05 ERA that there's that much junk on his card, but there is. So, that was a single on a 6-8 to left. Anderson's going to hold up at second. First and second with 1 out. And it'll be Endy Chavez. Just trying to decide if it's time to take Madsen out here. Against the lefty, 5-6. Fly ball to center field. That will be caught by Victorino, and that will be the second out. Everybody retreats. And now David Wright. Well, that's a 16. And a 1-8. And a walk. Loads the bases. Just cannot buy a roll here. Carlos Beltran. Against the lefty, 4-6, another walk. And you get the picture here. Batting around. Go to bed. What? I can't help you. What? I don't know, Nate. The Phillies are going to bring in Rudy Cianez. So Madsen didn't have his best stuff tonight, unfortunately for them. And, what do we got here? How many runs? That's let's see, that's going to be a 4th run here. I forgot to mark down that Anderson had gotten to 3rd on the first walk, and then the second walk there, he comes home. So a lot of Mets fans will be happy here tonight, I'm sure. And so Easley will come back up, and they're going to have Cianez coming in here for... and the Phillies will... They're going to double switch here for... Chris Coast. And it's going to be Ruiz catching in the 8th. So, okay, gonna have to juggle this bit here, but all right. So it's gonna be Easley with 2 outs and the base is loaded. (5-2) against a righty. That's a fly ball to center field. C. And I'm just gonna be quiet. I got to be quiet. It's gonna earn me some thumbs down if I say anything, but I don't know. I'm just gonna not say it. So Feliciano will come in here. I would just have a tough time going in and rooting against somebody's thing, but that's just me. But it's okay. I understand. I mean, when you like a team, you like a team. But anyway, Ruiz is going to face Feliciano. Mets are up 5, 6, 7, 8 to 5. Phillies have 6 outs left to try and turn this around. So against a righty, 5-4. That's going to be grounded to David Wright, 2E16. And I think that's going to be fine. Let me double check on the E16. On a 6. Yeah, it looks 11. Yep. That'll be the first out. Say it. It's fine. Say it. What's fine? What's fine, ID Jester? Jimmy Rollins, 5-10 against a lefty. Well, against a righty this time. 5-10, that's going to be a walk. So Shane Victorino. Well, you know what? Rollins, let's see. Well, Feliciano's good at holding runners, so it's going to hold Rollins close. They're going to have to see if they can work it another way here. That's going to be a grounded to third, though. That's going to get the force at second. 5-4, fielder's choice. Victorino. 2 outs. Going to try to get a lead here. It's a 10, so he doesn't. And Chase Utley. And a 6-3 against the lefty. Fly ball to left. It's going to be Tatis, a 4. And an 8. Well, that's probably going to be a base hit here. That'll be a single. That at least gives the Phillies a little bit of life. And let's see, he's an E5 and an 8. That won't be an error, but that will be a single, and Victorino will make it to third. And I'll give the tying run a chance to come to the plate. Ryan Howard. Ryan Howard with 2 outs in first and third, 2-10. That's going to be a strikeout to end the inning. And Feliciano works around the walk in the single to take it to the top of the 9th. with the Mets ahead 8-5 here at Citizens Bank Park. Cianez remains in the game. He will face Carlos Delgado. 2-7 against a right-handed pitcher. 1-6 single. It's an 8. So that'll be a grounder to first. 1 down. Fernando Tatis. 5-11 against a righty. Grounder to first base, X. It's a 4, E20, and that's going to be a single, probably. Double check that. And then a 12 on the E20. No error, but 4 and a 6. Yes, that's going to be a single for Tatis. Brian Schneider still in the game. Against the lefty, 6-5, and I'll tell you what, the Mets have gotten. If they've needed some kind of a roll off of a pitcher's card, they've pretty much gotten it here. So, it's that's the way the rolls go. First and third with 1 out, and let's see. Well, they got the switch hitting Argenis Reyes. I guess that's probably how you say it. I think the root for that is probably silver. The same root as silver, I'm guessing, but just hazarding a guess there as far as that goes. So Reyes, pinch hit in the 9th. I just can't catch a break here tonight. I'm dropping things. No clue where that went. Oh, there you are. I'm trying. Well, there went the key to this room. Okay. First and third and 1 out for Reyes. And a 2-7 and 1-14 single. And it's going to be a 10, so bases will be loaded. Actually, no, they won't be loaded. It'll be first and second, and the Mets drive another one home. And the Phillies are pretty much imploding here. Marlon Anderson's not in the game. It's Jose Reyes now at first and second, and 1 out. It's a 2-5, and that's a single off by Reyes, and that's going to make it, 10? 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Phillies pitching, getting some bad beats here, so. And a 1-7 and another split single chance here, 1-13. It's a 2. Another run comes home, and Rudy Cianez's ERA is ballooning as we speak. First and second. Still 1 out, and David Wright at the plate. 3-8, and it's a fly ball to left, and that will be caught by Burrell for the second out, and Carlos Beltran. Nah, Jerry, I'm never going to do a Phillies replay again. You can be... This is... When I get this thing finished... That is the end of Phillies replays as far as I'm concerned. So that's going to be it here. 3 runs on 5 hits. They leave 2. But I'm never going to... Yeah, I'm doing my best there, ID Jester. I mean, I'm doing... I mean, I don't. I did make one comment about somebody kind of getting into the live chat here, and Mike McAllister, I love you, man. I'm praying for you to keep healing and getting better. I mean, I've got to get back to the other. I have to get back to the other project, because in the other project I just don't have that investment, and I'm just, you know, I'm sitting here and it's this is just it's a tough one for me to have to. I'm doing the best I can here to just enjoy. I mean, I'm enjoying seeing the Mets do this in a way, but it's also not particularly easy either. So, you know, you just have to understand that. So it's gonna be Pat Burrell against Armas here. That's a 1-8. That's a strikeout. You know, you get 1-9 and there's a split chance, and just not going their way. Pedro Feliz, this will be his first at bat, and it'll be his last at bat of the game. So 4-7 against a righty. Well, there you go. So we got Armas in here. This is a single 1-2. It's gonna be a line out the rest. So it's got to be at least a 3. It's an 18. So let's see. That was, what was that? That was against. It was 4-7 against a righty, so that's going to be a liner to short for the second out. Yeah, they do. I mean, the Phillies rocked pretty good this year too, but they had a really nice string. They had 8 wins in a row, and this is their comeuppance for it. There's a walk, so all is not lost at the moment. But the pitcher spot comes up here. And they're going to have Jeff Jenkins come out for. So what actually is it here? It's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11-4. So they need 7. I mean, Jenkins isn't going to be the answer to that, but. But I guess that's why you roll it. You just never know. Stranger things, I guess, have happened in real life. But Jenkins with 2 outs, and that's a 2-9. He's going to strike out, and the Phillies are going to go down in, you know, giving up right here 7 runs in the last 2 innings, losing in pretty, what I would call, humiliating fashion for a home game. That's actually 11-5. But, you know, not a very good performance there by the bullpen. They really, I mean, they probably got some of the worst beats you could ever get when it comes to rolls, but, you know, you're going to have that when you go on a winning streak. So, you know, you go on a winning streak, you're bound to have the losing streak that kind of brings it back to earth. So, yeah, Mike, I understand. So, hold on just a second. I'm going to turn this thing around. Phillies lose 11-5. I'll be right back once I get this turned around and just talk for a second about this and some other things. So, be right back. Well, so yeah, that was I think I said last night when I was thinking about putting this game online that it was going to have the potential to be a problem child, and tonight it was. But nevertheless, Philly's still in fine shape at the moment. I mean, that would have put them a game behind the regular pace if they had beat the Mets here. And instead, they're going to be 46-44 at the 90-game mark. In real life, they were 48 and 42, I think. So just 2 games behind, nothing that can't be eclipsed or caught up to. But, yeah, I mean, it's just, it kind of stinks when you have games that you play, and I played a lot of these games offline, and they go pretty well, and then you bring a couple onto the tube, and they kind of flame out. But and again, I really don't mean any harm to to people rooting for the Mets. I don't know. It is what it is. So I'm gonna just quickly announce that. Hold on, just a second. Why are you? Do you? What, you need my attention? Why?
I see it.
Okay. Good. That's great. Okay. Hey. Good.
You're gonna say sorry for being mean first.
Sorry for being mean. Okay.
Okay.
Hey. Sorry for being mean. Yeah, announcement. What are we at? Well, we're over an hour. I wish I hadn't been this long, but when you get a lot of runs and a lot of pitching changes, that eats into the time. And you drop dice every 5 seconds, it seems like. So I'm developing a second. I don't know. I may catch some flack for this. I'm developing a second fictional golf tour, which is going to be a companion for the Tenacious Golf Tour. I'm sure some of you guys are about as into golf as I am into ballet, but excuse me. I'm going to be developing and have most of the groundwork laid for what I'm going to be calling the Slacker Tour. That'll be the Tenacious Tour's sort of younger cousin. What I'm envisioning, if anybody's familiar with, I know Ken is, and I'm sure there are a couple others that are here in the chat room are familiar with international soccer and also golf, the golf tours in this country. You have in domestic golf somewhat of a promotion and relegation system, if you will, kind of like you do in international football, association football, say, leagues, where the best players stay in the top division, the lower division best players move up, and the players that can't that don't hold up to snuff, they'll drop down. So my plan is to run a 15 tournament. So the current Tenacious Tour is 24 tournaments. The Slacker Tour is going to be 15. It's going to incorporate the qualifiers and a whole batch of golfers that will be Slacker Tour, say regulars. I don't know. They'll kind of come in and out. There's going to have to be some qualifiers for that tour as well. So I just needed. So I created some more golfers. Now I've had a request from RNGIDP because I was mentioning it to him. If anybody wants a character in this tour, I think that would probably be the best place to do it. But I'm just trying to decide. I don't know how much of the Slacker Tour I'm going to broadcast, because it's even the Tenacious Tour itself is a little on the it's stretching it a bit. I know there are some people who like watching it. I also know there are some people that probably are not big fans of it. So, let's see. First cousin twice removed. Yes. I'm just looking at this here. Mike, you go back to the doctor in the morning. Okay, yeah, I'm hoping for good news too, man. Seriously, it's it sucks you have to be going through this. Sucks that anybody has to be going through this. But we're a family here, and we're all pulling for you. And I don't know what other medical conditions are within the group here. But again, anybody who needs any support as far as like prayer or anything. I mean, my email address is, I've mentioned it many times, but it's tenaciousstrat@gmail.com. If you ever want to bounce an idea off of me, or like I'm talking about possibly making cards, if you wanted to have a golfer card made for you for would probably want to do it in the Slacker tour. I like the idea of an organic career movement and to see guys progress. My thought is, even for the Tenacious tour, but also for the Slacker tour, is to see the tournament ratings progress and develop over time. So I'm still working out those details, but I'd really like to see guys work, let's get 3 seasons in and see some guys have worked their way up to top of the line, and maybe some of the other guys have sort of worked their way out of that. Yeah, so ID Jester, I mean, I appreciate your sentiments, and I wasn't really trying to call you out. Hold on a second. Wow. Yeah.
Watch. I actually ran. I was about to do a pass, but then I looked like I was running. Then I threw it as quick as I can, and then this guy was open.
Yeah.
And then this guy just ran for that guy who was tackling. It's like a block. But I was close to getting Ferber.
Yeah. I appreciate you trying to keep my morale up. ID Jester, and I mean, again, I think all together I kept it together pretty well here. I mean, yeah, my tone's a little on the middle of the road side here, or maybe even slightly below middle of the road, but it's just something that's always going to be with me, and I probably should have played this game offline, because I think it probably would have, in any regard. Al, Red Sox fan, I don't know if I said hello to you. Al said he liked the Skins game. Yeah, I've got to work out some other things with some real life golfers too. I have a lot of stuff that I'd like to do. I just feel like, A, I don't have a whole lot of time, and B, I really want to finish this Phillies project, but it's still going to take we've got another 72 games to go, and that's not counting playoffs. And so I'm going to just have to work my way through it. I was hoping to be done by Christmas time, and I mean, we're within 3 weeks of it, and there's no way it's going to happen. I mean, I could play 2 games a night and really just rattle it off. And maybe I would be better off if I did a rattled 3 games a day and really got it done in, 2 or 3 weeks. But thanks, Jerry. Again, I don't mean any harm to, Mets fans. It's just, the last game that I broadcast, I kind of felt like there was the potential for some trying to, and I have to expect it now. I have to expect that someone may try to trigger me to do something, and I just have to either. I mean, what it's going to end up coming to is either A, I learn how to keep my cool, or B, I just quit looking at the comments and just leave it alone, and you guys can comment all you want, and then I just won't have to have a real connection to anybody watching the game live, which then I just feel like what's the point of putting it on here? So, it's somewhat tough. It's a situation that I'm battling through. I'm trying really hard to just leave it as an exercise in trying to see the Phillies through to some wins and try and get them to that 90 win mark that I think that's what they hit in real life. And I mean, the thing with 90 wins is you're going to have 72 losses too. So you just have to keep that in mind. It's not going to be a smooth sail the whole way. But in the heat of the moment, that's one of those things that it's going to be easy. It will have been easy to trigger me in the past. I'm going to try my best to avoid that. And if it comes in, I'm probably going to have to put it on the real game box score and just leave it alone and just play out the game. So I'm anti-Met-ite. Well, yeah, but you have to just keep plugging into it. People root for you and against you. Yeah, Heidi Jester, that's right. I wouldn't even say that I'm anti-Met in this, really. I mean, it's not that I don't like the Mets in this. I mean, I'm not gonna appreciate any team getting a win, but the Mets, I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping. Yeah, I mean, I hope Strat PC gets the Mets the losses that they got in real life, but I think the Mets did pretty decently against the Phillies in real life too. So, you have to consider it all when you're doing these things, and unfortunately for me, now what? Okay. Unfortunately, my preparation as far as looking at Phillies season records against certain teams, I don't like go in and say, oh, what did the Phillies do against the Mets in real life? How many games they win, how many games they lose. If I would do that and see, the Phillies lost 70% of their games, then maybe I would be, predisposed to understanding, but I don't want to spend that time doing that, really. I guess I just want to play this out. So similar to Seinfeld, but not the same. Oh, I see. I used to watch some Seinfeld, if that's where it came from, but unfortunately, I'm not quite as up on those jokes. Heidi Jester, I guess he gets a little... Yeah, well, I mean... But... I guess I take my belligerence too seriously at times. It manifests too close to my my soul. So anyway, back to this golf tour. So the Slacker Tour is going to be something that more or less runs simultaneously with the other tour. I've been kind of doing the Tenacious Tour on... Been running the Tenacious Tour on sort of an every 2 or 3 week schedule, just as far as doing it. So may try to slip in one of these tournaments. What I might eliminate are the play-in qualifying rounds. Just instead run the making the cut, and I've got to get going. It was nice talking to y'all. You'll be hearing more about this tour in the coming days, but right now I have some other things to attend to. So appreciate you guys watching. Phillies, tough result tonight. They were in it in the 7th, and the 8th and 9th really did them in here. So Look forward to them hearing. Probably, I don't know. I might take a week or two off from this, try and get some golf in. So thanks for watching. If you could hit like, I would understand if some of you didn't like this. So, but if you could hit like, if you did like it and you feel led to, I would appreciate that. Again, if anybody wants to talk about this, my email is tenaciousstrat@gmail.com. We'll be back for a broadcast here in a couple days, probably with some golf. But take care. Thanks a lot. God bless, and good night from Tabletop Earl and myself. Have a great one.